The first thing I have to tell you is that I chose the 11-inch iPad Pro because this year I believe it is the option to choose without a doubt. For many years, I have told you that I hoped Apple would prove me right by putting an equally good screen on the 13-inch model as on the 11-inch, and this year they have proven me right by putting the OLED screen on both models. Therefore, right now, for reasons of portability, and especially for the use you will give the device, I think it is much more interesting to choose the 11-inch model, which you will use for many more things than the 13-inch. Which is still a bit larger and only for more specific people. I'm going to do the unboxing of the 11-inch one, and I'm going to compare it with the 11-inch from the previous generation, which I also have, so you can see the differences and determine if Apple really delivers on the promise of screen improvement. Inside the box, as you can see, the device is very well packaged and increasingly minimalist. As a first impression, I can tell you is super thin and super lightweight. We have the instruction sheets inside the Apple packaging, and what I missed are the stickers that, at least in my model, I couldn't find. Let me know in the comments section if your iPad came with stickers, but in mine, as you can see, no matter how much I looked for them, I couldn't find them. Apart from this, regarding the packaging of the instructions inside the box, what we have is a braided USB-C to USB-C cable. A cable from the user's perspective that is very reminiscent of the MacBook Pros in that it is braided, but this time it is quite short. This is a cable that barely reaches 1 meter. It would be a bit more appreciated if it were a little longer, and of course, it would be even more appreciated if they included a charger, which is not in the box and you have to buy separately. Having seen this, let's take a look at the iPad. An iPad that comes very well packaged, as you can see in this sheet of paper, that protects the new model. To me, this color seemed beautiful. It's a very nice matte black. That, with the shiny Apple logo, makes the device even more elegant. When I saw it, I fell in love with this color because, compared to the space gray model that we will see later, there is a noticeable difference. At the bottom, we have the USB-C connector. On the back, we have the pins for connection to the Apple Magic Keyboard. And on the other side, we have the holder for the Apple Pencil. I must tell you that it feels very lightweight, and the screen is highly reflective as well. As you can see right out of the box, this iPad is a magnet for fingerprints. All the fingerprints are smudged both on the back and the front. Here you have the previous generation model, the iPad Pro in space gray, and as you can see, there are differences. The first and most notable difference is the color. The space gray color on the right is like a gray, and the one on the left is a space black. And it is true that when seen side by side, honestly, the black one looks spectacular. What I don't like as much is the camera module, because the camera module of the previous generation was nicer. And what I can tell you is that in terms of the device's slimness and thinness, the new one crushes the old one. It feels much thinner in hand. It's incredible how Apple can make these types of devices thinner and thinner. You can see, it's practically like a sheet of paper. And yes, I can tell you that Apple is right. The new screen looks better than the previous generation iPad without a doubt. Can you see it on the screen? On the right, I have a previous generation iPad and the blacks are gray. As you can see, I will point out some areas on the screen so you can notice where I focused to do the test. It looks more grayish, while the new OLED model iPad, as you can see, looks completely black. This year, we have the OLED screen in both the 11 and 13-inch models. So this year, without a doubt, I think the best option is to go for the 11-inch model because, as you can see, it looks spectacular. Aside from the audio, I won't say there's much difference between the two because there really isn't. They sound practically the same, and from what I can hear, I would say it's a technical tie. So, the only thing I can highlight here is the screen. Honestly, from the previous generation to this one, the screen alone makes it worth the upgrade.